what's going on. I mean, tell the truth. Have you ever heard of or anything like that in America like right now? It ain't never, look, it ain't never. In fact, it slipped up on people so quick and so quietly, they ain't even, wait a minute. Could you have done this stuff during Obama? No. Could you have done this stuff during Clinton? Even George, dumb George, they'd have said, wait a minute, you can, but this boy, he produced the environment, right, that was perfect for cut off all of trade with everybody, just cut it off. Everybody that he cut off trade with, somebody else step in and said, we'll do it. The U.S. just 2 days ago, 3 days, was it 3 days, at that climate thing?
In Poland.
Huh?
In Poland.
Yeah. They said, no, we ain't going. The U.S. was, can you imagine a dummy so big that he says, ain't no global warming, the damn polar bears said, brother, come on now, this little, right? It ain't nobody.
The representatives that he sent to Poland,
Right.
to represent the United States,
Right.
was representing the coal interests. That's the very thing everybody trying to get away from.
Look, I sometimes I think they doing it on purpose. If they got a scheme, the white man got it. But on the other hand, this might be the biggest fool in history. This might be the biggest fool in history at the right time for everything to go bang. And look, and everybody's sitting there looking, and it don't make no difference what they do, it's stupid. We're gonna keep the China woman that just cost we just want to keep her. What the hell is the damn charge? Right? What's the charge? You know what I mean? And even the Chinese people said, well, we're the biggest competitor right now, so this is the Daily China would say that. So, what about us? We're not alone. We ain't alone. Don't get the idea that we're not alone. We just got to do the historical I don't want to call it revival, but all the Negroes, they on TV, they kind of like silly and they don't, right? You know, there's nothing serious. Okay, so now we have to present our real culture. It's Islamic culture. It's Quran, it's Sunnah, it's history, right? It's all of that. It's how we see it. But when we could present that whole picture to the public, we're not beating them over the head with Quran. You see what I mean? We are concerned about the principles and ethics of the Quran. We've already proved that that's what we do. We done stuck with them, so it's, but our people have done like most people. They've sold out and they've taken whatever they've taken. But that's not our, they can take fortune, they can take fame, and I can tell you, boss man done offered us everything he can. And I'll tell you why. Years ago, it was clear, maybe way over 30 years. Yeah, it's 30. It's like when you come to the right way. The white man can't give you nothing that he ain't got. When you start in your early studies of Islam, which are deep in themselves, the white man don't have that. And as you coming into your Islamic development, here come the Euros saying, you can do this, you can do that, and shoot, that's millions of dollars, that's this and that. They say, yeah, well, I have a few $1,000s, but I feel like $1 million. It ain't nothing. I know what it feels like to have that. What is it that a man gains the world and loses his soul? All white people do that. Not all white people do not do that. There are white people right now that are on our team and they want a good world. As we move out into the bigger world, the world is going to recognize our position, and they're going to appreciate it, because we ain't taking nothing else. We ain't taking nothing else. We haven't taken it before, and we're not cheapening our movement. That's one of the differences between our friends. Some of our friends are still, with all this education and training, are still moving at 40 and 50 miles an hour, and the world is moving at 100. And therefore, any adjustments that they make will be at least half of what they should be, because they're out of tune. They haven't realized, and I'll say this, you can imagine some of our friends. Some of our friends, they missing the boat on some things and hitting the boat on the other. The only place they really missing the boat is ethics. Ethics. This is what I taught them last year, and this may be the last go-round out here, and whatever it is. If they're there, they could have moved the place somewhere else. To me, I don't care. But where we are now is where we have already been going. The ability to sleep and what do we call it?
Sleep under a bridge.
Sleep under a bridge. We don't have to sleep under no bridge. We already, this is as far back as we're going. This is just my opinion. But if we go back a little further, so what? You know, the beauty of thinking big is miraculous. The beauty of Star Trekking them and all of that, look what that produces. If we're at the bottom of our game right now, not technically, and we have 8 pieces of property, we have friends around the world, we have property, right? That's more than any other Negroes have. Can you imagine? That's more than all other Negroes have. And everybody knows by now, the property is not the main thing. That's what Boss Man was trying to get us thinking. Property. We're gonna steal your property. We're gonna do that. You ain't gonna do nothing. Right? When we finish telling the world, we're gonna say, world, this is what the white man does. What do you think about that? You see? We're not saying that we're smart or nothing like that. But when Allah got something wrote for you, He'll give you the mission, He'll give you the confidence, and He'll give you everything to do it. And no matter what they do, they can stir up stuff in your coffee, they can stir up something, and they can, the white man thinks he can do mumbo jumbo. Mumbo jumbo, they must be crazy. If the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right? If we have mu'adhatain for the Prophet, that stuff has to have some validity. There ain't no just, that's just a mumbo jumbo. No, there ain't no mumbo jumbo. If you play that stuff right and you play your stuff wrong, the white man, the shaitan, who whispers and withdraws after whispering, right, can have you thinking that you on Mars and you on Venus. If you, right, on the wrong road. So what we're saying was, this is a great spiritual period. Now, spiritual jihad in Oakland. Okay, y'all, everybody here knows. Okay, everybody knows here. If we say spiritual jihad in Oakland, what does that mean the white man gonna do in Oakland?
Physical jihad.
He's gonna do that. So, right? That's why when you see me in those clips, what am I saying? Man, this is publicity. This is this and that, and this is what we're gonna do, and da-da-da-da-da. And at the hospital, they said, why are you so happy? We've never seen a trauma patient, because them, look at the way I was looking, because I looked at the video again today. I hadn't looked at all of it. And I told my son or somebody, okay, go get me a hot compress or something. I think that's something like that. And I don't know if you go get me then I'm gonna go home and go to sleep. Well, after they turn on, they say you can't go home and go to sleep. They said, I never looked at my head until after they put stitches. I just didn't know. When I looked at them pictures, I said, now I know what everybody was talking about. They didn't knock fat off of my head. They didn't, you know what I mean? They have actually, that's,
traumatic.
Well, for somebody 73 years old and ain't passing out, you know what I mean, and stuff like that, I think it was all right. You know, I think it was all right. Mm-hmm. And if maybe every 5 or 6 months I get a little blinking spell, I said, well, that's probably related to something. I'm just saying. Look, that was exactly what we needed. It ain't exactly what nobody wanted but me. Did I tell y'all Imam Jamil called me? Man, Imam Jamil called me. He sounded like he was right next door. I said, man, they had me thinking you was ready to go, and you sound like, he sounded good. You sounded strong, and I was happy, and we talked old Southern stuff. I said, now you from Baton Rouge, and I'm from north to you, Arkansas, so this is what I'm doing on, because a long time ago, Imam Jamil said he was looking at something I was doing. He said, yeah, it's Brother Rabbit, please don't throw me in the briar patch. You know, y'all remember that old Brother Rabbit? The Brother Rabbit is Brother Rabbit, and I was at the bear, and he telling the bear, please don't throw me in the berry bushes, the briar patch. That's where if I go running in the hills, that's exactly where the rabbits live, because they can, yeah, so, please don't throw me in the briar patch. I show you behind it. That's exactly what happened. Now, we're going to need help, and I'll kind of close in a minute, but what we're going to do is I'm going to go and get, for this program, I'm just going to get some cards back, and make some photos, and have some CDs, and I think they got a table for me, and I'm going to talk about what we need, and the old timers will be happy, and others may not. But this crew, over half of them are friends of ours, and we went through a struggle that nobody else, they didn't hang. So that's a lot. And whatever everything comes out to, we are going to build our own image. Just like what we've been setting up for. Why we do care 4 or 5 times, because we're going to show care, who they are. Why we go to USMOC or whatever, because we're going to show who they are. You offered us 11, 12 more years ago. What's happening now? Right? Because the Muslim community is not even touching on no Islam. I mean, the fundamentals, like, yes, they do all the prayers and all that. But if your brother get in trouble, oh, good God Almighty, they break out and run. And that's the cardinal evil. Okay. They did it, they've been doing it all along. It's not only with Imam Jamil, they did it with all other brothers. And they did it with their own, right over there, they did it with their own, homeboys. Palestinian brother, we all know, wearing glasses. Yeah,
Clean him up.
yeah. They wanted him to snitch. He said, I ain't gonna snitch. You know, I ain't gonna snitch. And they might have did Sami al-Arian or something, I don't know, but that's all right. So, okay, now, so number one, we have to teach the world. We have to teach the world how to deal with the bullying system. We've done it. We are technically scaring boss man to death. Now, in this stage, sometime boss man might get a little mad, so this is not necessarily a permanent position, because boss man may not, like it. He's better red than dead, or something. So, we don't particularly care what he like, because when Allah gives you a mission, that's what you got to do. So the spiritual job in Oakland worked perfectly, because we acted according to what we wanted and what Allah evidently wanted. Okay? The other thing we mentioned, property is not important to the mission. Property is not important to the mission. But we had them thinking that that's what property. But it's not, we'll get the property back or double or triple when we get ready. If they want, it'll cost them so much. They said, look what your white man does. He talks about laws and look at it. There he is. No, we're going to clown him. The white man will be clowned. We're not going to be mad, oh, mean old white man. No. All illegal dots and I's and T's would be crossed.